In today's conversation, I want to talk about how we go from dream to goal to reality. I see a lot of sensitive business owners and a lot of sensitives being frustrated about not being where they see themselves and not being where they thought they would be at this point in life. And so I just wanted to address that because we want so much. We want to create, we have these big visions, and it's easy for us to see the bigger picture and to see what we can create and to see what's needed out there as well. And to not be where we thought we would be or where we think we should be can create a lot of frustration. So let's dig into that in today's conversation. So the dream, let's start with the dream. So a dream starts with, wouldn't it be cool if, or when you were a kid and you wanted to be this when you grow up. That's also a dream, right? I dream of being this. I dream of having this, dream of having a castle. Like there's so many dreams that we can fantasize and think about. And just because we dream about them, just because we fantasize about them, doesn't mean that we have to make them into reality. If we want them to stay dreams, that's totally fine if that's how you feel. It's just to make that conscious decision about, do I want to make this a reality? And that's when you made the decision, that's when it becomes a goal. So is it something that you dream of? Wouldn't it be cool if? That would be amazing. I would love to do that. And then you go, yeah, I'm going to do that. It's my goal. It's something I really want to do. I'm aiming to do it, right? The decision, the focus and the energy is towards, and the intention is towards, yes, I'm going to do that. We have created it, we have achieved it, or depending on the kind of goal, of course, when it is reality, that is when we have created it. That's when our reality becomes this new reality where we have achieved or reached that goal and reached the dream. So yeah, that's really what I want to look at today. So growing up, I wanted to join the circus or be a singer, but I stopped myself there because I knew I didn't want what was coming with it. I didn't want to stand on stage every night or be in those big crowds and have that pressure on me all the time. So I said, no, I don't think I want to be that, and try to find something else. So one danger of dreaming is, or not allowing ourselves to dream, is that we think of how too soon. So if like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a singer, and if I wouldn't have looked at how and how I wanted to be the singer, how I wanted to be, and said no to that, I might have found another way to be that. I'm still singing and I am still composing music, but I'm not doing it on stage. I'm not doing it in front of big crowds every day, and it's not my mission right now. I know it's lurking there in the background, but the point I wanted to make was the how can really hinder us to create the dream. So just don't think about the how too soon. Allow yourself to dream and look at what is important for you in that dream. What is it with that dream that you really want to create into reality? And then when you look at that goal, the question comes up, are you willing to do what it takes? And this might sound a bit harsh, but what does it really take to go from dream to goal to reality? Of course, it depends on what it is that you want to create, what you have done before, and so on and so on. But a certain portion of it is a beginning, a new beginning. You need to be able to be the beginner, to allow yourself to be a newbie, and to allow yourself to not know, and be okay with that. Be okay with saying, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's gonna work out. I don't know that. I don't know the exact path that I'm going. I don't know the exact steps, but I know that I want to go there. And another thing that you, if you're willing to do what it takes, is actually to find out what it takes. You don't have to know everything from the start, because it's no point in sitting and figuring everything out, because it won't be as you think anyway. So you need to start, and that's where you find the information, but also willing to find out, being specific. Because when we just keep it to that fluffy dream, it's very unspecific. Like I said, we don't go into the how. It's just, yeah, I want to be that. It's a dream. But if we really start moving into the goal phase, moving it into a goal, like, this is what I want. Okay, what is important there? Is it really what you want, or is it something other that is coming into that? Is it societal pressure? Is it, is it something else that is beneath your dream or your goal? Or is it actually something that lights you up, something that feels exciting, something that feels really important to you? And yeah, are you willing to find out what it takes? Because when we start asking about the next step, we don't have to know all the steps. You just have to know, okay, how do I do that? I don't know. Okay, where do I start? Okay, I might start here. Oh, no, that was not it. Okay, maybe here then. Oh, yeah, I got one step up. And then, okay, where do I go from here? And you collect the information over and over again. And you get new information, you tweak, you course correct, and all of those things. Another thing that comes into, are you willing to do what it takes, is, are you willing to prioritize this? Are you willing to put focus, time, and energy and effort into that project? Is it now that it's going to happen? Because it's easy to say, like, yeah, if you followed me, you probably heard me say, I have a book inside of me and I'm going to write a book. And it's still on my list. It's still something I want. It still feels really important to me, but it just feels like now it's not the time. And it's kind of when you start exercising, like, you need to kind of really come to that point where you say, yeah, now that's enough. Now I really need to do it. Sometimes you can wait for those moments, and sometimes you just, yeah, now it's the time, I'm going to do it. You just have to sit yourself down, put the line in the sand, stake in the ground. This is it. I'm going to do it. And then you start the first step. But it's all about the decision to say, yeah, I'm actually doing it. Because if you don't say that, you're never going to do it. It's a dream. It's a goal. It's a dream that is in the future, or is in your fantasy. But if you don't say, yes, I'm going to do it, I'm going to put time, focus, and prioritize this, it's not going to happen. And it's about, yeah, you don't have to know everything from the start, and it's about taking those small actions. So what is the difference between someone who has written a book and someone who hasn't? Me. Well, they did put time and effort and prioritized writing that book. And they allow themselves to be a beginner. They allow themselves to find out what it takes and collect that information. So you see, it's not about, oh, they are so much better than me. Is it? No. It's like with a podcast, like, what is the difference between me, who has a podcast, and someone who doesn't? Well, I took the steps that I needed to take. I was willing to prioritize and put time and effort into it. And here we are 2 years later. And yeah, so it's really about, am I better than someone else just because I have a podcast? No, of course not. It's just the way that I chose to do it. And someone else might not want to, or prioritize, or still have it on their list, but it's not their time right now. Like, we can let the frustration go when we really dig into these questions, when we dig into, am I ready to do this now or not? If I want to go from A to B, well, what are the steps in between? We can see that goal, we can see that but are we really taking the action so that we will go there? And if we don't know the action steps, well, then we need to find out. And sometimes, always, it's about trial and error. Is this the right way to go? And there are so many educations and programs out there that can teach you, and some are really good, depending on what your goal is. Some are really good and can help you, and some are just from their perspective. So it depends on what it is. Is it really actually practical information that you need? Like starting a podcast, there's certain steps that you need to take, but it's also working on yourself and realizing that you have something to say and that someone will actually listen, right? It's actually taking that space and saying, yes, I really do think I have something to tell you. I really do think I have something that someone needs to hear, even if it is just one person. So yeah, it's really to work with yourself on different levels, but also seeing that you don't have to have the confidence from the start. You build the confidence while you do it. So you build your confidence muscle. You start as a newbie, you prove to yourself by taking the steps, you collect information by taking the steps. And that is how you go from dream to goal to reality. Okay, I'm going to leave you now with 3 questions that I want you to ponder around if you want to have your dream to goal to reality. The first one is this really what I want? Is this really what I want? Not here and now. Am I willing to do what it takes, like we talked about before? And then what is the first smallest step that I can do right now to make this reality? And the smallest step should be so small that you actually can do it right now. Is it just to decide that this is what you want? Is it to contact someone, send an email? You don't have to think about the bigger picture because that can be so big and scary. But if you just think about the next step, the next step, the next step, the next step, then they're finally going to get there. Like, how do you climb a mountain? Yeah, one step at a time. If you stand at the bottom of a mountain, it can feel very overwhelming to see that whole big thing and think, oh, I'm going to stand up there. But if you take one step, then you take one step, then you take one step, and different things are going to come up. You're going to work with your mindset and your ability to walk, and you have to stop and eat sometime and fill your energy. And it's like, yeah, that's actually how we do it. It's not a straight way and just take one step and then we're there. That wouldn't be any fun, would it? It's an adventure, and it's something, if it feels important to you, the adventure is worth going on. Hope this was valuable to you. Have a beautiful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.